Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. I'm Kenny Fogel, your host. We're glad you could be with us tonight. We're going to wrap up 2017. You know, some people have good years, some people have great years, but my guest today's had, I think, one fantastic year. Ms. Kim Huston. Kim, Executive Director of the Nelson County Economic Development Agency. I guess I got that right. I know everybody goes INCEDA and trying to remember what it stands for.
What it stands for, yeah. You got it right.
Well, I've had a little practice over the years. Well, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I know you're extremely busy, even this time of year. You're not wrapping things up and taking slowing down. You're still going strong.
We are still going strong right now. Now we're just kind of dotting our I's and crossing our T's for everything that went on in the year. But a lot of things we're doing are still flowing over to 2018.
Yeah.
So, you know, the couple of big announcements we have, most of those will be finalized in 2018, sale purchases. So we've still got a lot to do. We've got a lot to do.
Well, I see, like I said, I've seen construction going up in several places. Even from where I live, I can see the Thai Summit. I think they've got their lights on now and they're in the process of hiring.
They are doing some hiring now. Thai Summit, as you remember, is an automotive stamping plant that announced they're coming to Bardstown. They built this huge facility, and people say, why doesn't it have any windows in it? I'm like, it's a stamping operation. You can't have windows in a stamping operation. But that's only the production that you see. They haven't even built their office on.
No, really?
And the office is going to be the glass and very modern piece of that building. So it's going to tone down the production look of that. But they are hiring as we speak. They're doing some test production right now. They actually have to stamp parts, present them to Ford, and get approved to be able to do the real part. So they're doing that. They actually got a Tesla contract too. So they're going to be stamping some of the smaller parts for some Tesla. So 2018 is going to be their grand, turn on all the big stamping machines and let's go at it.
Well, like I said, it's been a banner year, obviously, bringing in business. And I guess part of your job as well is taking care of existing businesses as well. And it seems like with our unemployment rate and what I'm seeing right now, that's going pretty well too.
It is going well, you know, and it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Our unemployment rate it teeters between 3.5, 3.8%, which is the lowest it's ever been since they have been, you know,
and
tracking
for people actually looking for jobs, that's considered full employment.
It's full employment because there's still, you know, that percentage of people that stay on the rolls and they're just not going to get a job. And so what's happening is right now that we have provided a lot of new jobs with these companies, a lot of good jobs with these companies. This last company we have is diversifying us a little bit more. The bad news is that we're running out of workers to put in these new companies. You know, typically when we make these announcements, you know, you're good job, what now? Now my companies are calling like, you're killing me. You know, we can't keep having new companies come in. You're going to take my second and third shift and put them onto first shift, these new companies, and then who am I going to find? And I actually went into a company the other day and did a tour. And, you know, it's just like everything is modernized so much in these companies now in robotics. They're really having a hard time finding the good skilled workers. A lot of these people have been there decades and decades. They're retiring and they're having trouble finding that skilled worker. So that's going to be a big push of ours over the next 5 years is to work with our existing companies, making sure they stay healthy, they stay happy, and that we can get these, you know, people who are not on a college path, they're on a career path, get them into some technical training and get them started at $40,000, $50,000 a year jobs that are available.
Well, you know, see, the companies may be struggling, but for the average worker, this is a boondoggle. I mean, it's great because money's going to go up, jobs are, they can pick and choose what they want. So
it is a good thing, and then that brings issues. More people are moving to Bardstown. I think we've got some lack of some single family kind of housing apartments and things like that. We've had a lot of discussions with developers about developing more subdivisions, more opportunities. Roads is a big issue. You know that, you know, working, you know, in the transportation system for so long, you know, we've got to find some more bypasses around town and we've got to find some more money for that. And so growth is good, but you got to keep up with it too.
Right. And that brings me to my next part is obviously at this point, do you slow down? Do you speed up? Do you just keep going at the same pace? What are you looking at doing for the next year or so? Are you still trying to attract people to come here?
I think what we will do next year, we just sold our last large industrial lot to a company called Takagawa. Takagawa is a great company. They make these really nice high-end plastic bags, and they'll be making dog food bags for Royal Canin dog food, and that'll be happening here. So, you know, that's our last large piece of ground. So now we're deciding, do we need to get back into an industrial park? Do we need to start looking? We have been doing that. We've already been in negotiations. Yet we start thinking, too, we got to focus on keeping our existing industries. Yeah. I'm actually making a trip to Japan in March, visiting all of our Japanese companies over there, all the corporate headquarters, to see what they want from us, to make sure they know they're still on the front of our burners and helping them.
Well, yeah, you
and
still
making
got to
those relationships. We
people.
do. I mean, it's really important. We always tell people when we recruit you, we don't bring you in, let you open your doors up, and then we go away. We're always there, and that's something that makes Bardstown a little bit special. So we're actually starting. BIDC is embarking on a strategic plan, a major strategic plan, and this will involve the community, and it'll involve a lot of people, and it's going to set the pace and the path for what we're going to do over the next 5 years. Are we going to focus on workforce development? Are we going to get in with the school systems and start building curriculum and technical training and develop our vocational technical school a little bit more and training? Are we going to buy another industrial park? Are we going to rethink the way we're going? It's a whole new economic development than it was 20 years ago.
It sounds like a good problem to have, but if you think about the word competition, you think 120 counties in Kentucky, you thinking when you're obviously going to Japan, you're thinking worldwide. We're on an international competitive level.
We are. Takagawa, there were several states involved in that. I think they said 120 communities, several states, and they visited every one of them all over the country, and they picked Bardstown. Yeah. And that shows that we're playing with the big boys out there. Our name is out there, but nonetheless, you don't stop. Right. You don't stop because you never know when something could happen. I mean, look when the automotive industry, hit a turn. Look when the tsunami hit over in Japan. So many of our Japanese plants here, they were crippled for a while. They were not getting parts. And so you just keep going because you never know when a particular industry could hit a rough time and people could be on the unemployment lines. We don't want that to happen. No, obviously. We want to make sure that always there are jobs out there for people. And then we're looking to try to recruit those high-end, those white-collar jobs that bring corporate headquarters here. Right, we'd like to think that we're sassy enough now in Bardstown and that we can recruit headquarters. Who would not love to be between Louisville and Lexington?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got so much on our plate. It's almost mind-boggling when I think about it, but I think most communities would love to be Bardstown.
Well, absolutely. Well, it sounds like I said, you've had a great year. 2017's got kind of hard to, 2018, like you said, will be the preparation stage now because you're in the second stage of this and then preparing for the years coming, but it never ends. It
never ends, and it's a good thing. I have a lot of my counterparts across the state that are just dying for one company in 5 or 6 years, and we get 2 within the last 3 months. And it's just, people say, how does that happen? Like, it's Bardstown. We have everything with the place that people want to live, the location, the accessibility, the industrial land, everything is right there. So I think it's a perfect storm for people to locate.
Well, the Bluegrass Parkway for so many years was, I don't say abandoned, but it just wasn't taken advantage of to its fullest potential. Yeah. And hopefully now that has become an asset to us.
It has. I mean, Flower Foods, if you see some of their trucks go up and down the highways all the time. I pass them. It's called Fleet, and the First Fleet, and you see them all the time. And they're Flower Foods. They come right out, and they're going east and they're going west on the Bluegrass Parkway, and that sells that. A lot of these people are pulling right out of that Nelson County Industrial Park, getting on the Bluegrass Parkway. That's a huge sales for us.
And finally, our signature industry, bourbon, seems to be doing great.
Wow.
I guess in bad times people buy bourbon, and in good times people buy bourbon.
Yeah, and next year we're opening 3 new distilleries. Yeah. We'll be opening the Bardstown Bourbon Company. We'll be opening a restaurant, a bar. You've got Lux Row Distillery will be opening in April. They've already set a date for their big grand opening. We got Preservation Distillery going to be opening as well.
About that one, yeah.
And then they'll start digging dirt for Kentucky Owl Park out there in the quarry. And
oh, that's beautiful. From what I've seen of that, that's absolutely overwhelming.
That's going to be fun. A lot of people, still concerned about how that's going to affect the traffic on 245 with, those the lanes coming out. I think we've got all that worked out, and it's not going to be a congestion factor. But wow, if this, I'd like to see that in 10 years from now. I'd like to just have a little ball that says, "What's it look like in 10 years?"
Yeah, maybe we'll have hovercrafts, but
maybe, the way it's going.
Float right on. Yeah, you never know. That's another sub. We'll get into technology another day.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, we do congratulate you on a great
Thank
year,
you,
and looking forward to next year. And
I am too.
And appreciate you coming, spend a few minutes to come out here today and wrapping this up for us.
Well, let's do this time next year and talk about all the great things that happened
in
2018.
We'll do that again. All right, well, thank you for being here.
Kenny, I appreciate it.
And appreciate you tuning in. Again, a banner year for the Nelson County Economic Development Agency and its partner agencies. So, and I didn't even touch on tourism. I know we'll get into that at some other time.
Okay.
I know that's another issue you're working full-time on. So I'm trying to find a new executive director. So
we'll be announcing something probably in the first quarter of next year for that.
Right. So like I said, you got a full plate. Take a vacation sometime.
Okay, thank you. I'll tell my board you said that.
There you go. Stick around, a lot more to come here on Community Focus. We'll be back in just a few minutes right here on Channel 6 TV.